What's up, guys? Welcome to Crypto Cartel. It's been a crazy weekend in the markets. Bitcoin went from 77K back to 95 now, and Trump might have just single-handedly saved the bull market from the depths of despair. And we're going to be going through how the market's looking. Where's the opportunity right now? Are altcoins back? Is altcoin season back on? I think it could be. And yeah, let's get into it.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Uh, all right, so quickly going back to the same chart I've been showing you guys over the last 2 months. We had targets of mid 80s, and I'll be honest here, guys. I had it at least down to 77K on that white line here, and I got front ran. So my orders didn't. I had some orders here at 77, at 75, and at 72. Unfortunately, none got filled. So that's the sad part, but for me at least. But it's good news for the bull market. Um, One thing I want to look at is I'm just going to look at everything from clear, and I'll give you some things to watch. All right, so we'll just look at a new chart here, keeping it clean. So we're zooming out to the weekly, right? And we're closing the weekly in about 30 minutes. The fact that we are going above the 21 moving average is very, very bullish in general, right? We have come all the way down on the stochastics. We're still, turned in the MACD a little bit bearish, but we're still above the zero, right? We're still in the bull market here, so that's a good sign overall. I do want to point out also the 2 week, which is very, very interesting. A few times we've hit the 2 week on the 21 MA, as you can see down here. We went ahead, we wicked down, and that's when we moved up. We wicked down, and that's again when we moved up. And right here, you see we kind of wicked a few times, came back around here, but held support and did the same thing here. What are we doing again? That's exactly what we're doing, right? Could we potentially see something like this again? Maybe, right? I'll tell you why, maybe. But maybe we could see something like that here, maybe not. But the reason why I say that is because we have, we're still coming down on the stochastics here. Again, bullish for now. We have not crossed the MACD. We're on the verge, but we haven't yet, right? Here we're crossing. I obviously like to see this to turn around to continue to go up, but I think that we're in the process of doing that for the next, in the next few weeks. So that all of this is a good sign in general. It was a great bounce. Now, if we go to the daily, let's look at that. All right, so the daily is actually looking very interesting. There's two things I want to see us do for us to continue to really, really say, this is it. This is it, Chief. We're moving out, right? And right now we're starting to hit resistance, and this is going to be very interesting as to what we're going to do in the next few days, right? In terms of how I look at double tops or McDonald patterns, is we usually come back and do a retest before we dump again, right? And so seeing this resistance here, it could be that we are, retesting this M pattern and then we could continue to dump again, right? Or do like a double bottom and then continue to rip. Ideally, by tomorrow or this week, I want to see us break this right here. This exact pattern here. If we close above like 96, 97 on like a few dailies, at least a daily or two, to me, that's very bullish. So I think this is very pivotal. We've come to a really interesting place right now. Everything's looking incredible. The daily on the stochastics is looking great. On the 3 day, it had this double bottom. There is this one had the stochastics on the 3 day had bullish divergence, as you can see here. So overall, it's looking good. I think the true test is going to be between now and 100K. So just keep an eye on those things. Closing below, this 95 region, could get us, going back down again. But let's just see how these days, play out. Let's see how the tomorrow the market open, what it looks like, and if we continue to pump and break these here, I absolutely think we're going to go into the 125 to 130s, and that's my personally that's my peak target for the bull run. Anything above that would be wonderful, but I'm being very conservative in terms of the the bull run. So that's what we got, guys. Just make sure you look at these levels here. Once again, the support level. I'm sorry, the resistance level at 95K. We break that this blue line here. We're bull market. That's confirmation for me, and I'd be very excited for for other alts. But again, this is a pivotal zone, and we'll give an update later on. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so just to recap, you're saying if it breaks that diagonal line uh bullishly like above that, you're saying it's going to 120? Is that what you
So
said?
my target, yeah, exactly. So my target would be that. My target would be
Okay,
around
so
one. Mhm.
can you walk me to through like how you got to that target? Because it's
Yes,
funny.
yes, yes. So
You're
what?
now you went from bearish to super
No,
bullish. Just break that
so
one
you,
trend
no, no,
line.
no. You're not listening. So I said two things, right? I said the bearish scenario, which we would have to break 95, right? Above 95. That's the bullish scenario, right? The bearish
Yeah,
scenario is this support region gets rejected, right? And that's, I mean, we
yeah.
continue to go back down. So that's what I said. This right here is very pivotal in the next few days, in the next few weeks, right? Once we have this
Bearish one
confirmation,
makes sense. But then
what's
how do
that?
you go from breaking 95 to I get the bearish one, like that's you underside
Okay.
retest of the
So so
the bullish one is the one I'm not really understanding.
so the bullish one I've talked about it before, um, multiple times as well. But essentially, what we're looking at, and I'll give you this example from here to here, right? So this example that I got was exactly to where we went, right? Close enough to like 104, but we ended up going to like 109 and then we dumped. So that was the first target, right? Obviously, you need a retest of that specific support to then continue to the upside, right? And from what I saw, if you're looking at a cup and handle or from bottom to top, you see this is just a flag. We're just keeping it simple, right? And that flag, if you pull it out, guess what it gives you? It gives you that region of yeah, the 120 around this area, right? And so I've already highlighted this before. Ideally, I want to see this, right? Now, if we're gonna go in terms of like, all right, like let's go all the way from this bottom, which I really doubt. I don't think we will do that, just because the impulse was from here, right? It's not from all the way down here. But if you're gonna look at this as a cup and handle, then sure, let's try it out. And most likely, that's gonna give it to you to the box where I have it up here, right? Which essentially says 125,
120.
maybe 130. Yeah. So that's why I
Okay.
have these two here as in terms of because I'm playing just the basic TA. I'm not like overcomplicating this at all. And essentially what we did, like I said, we bumped, we came back, we retested, even though we didn't exactly retest like I wanted. The next step would be to continue to the upside to meet that target. So that's where I'm getting the 120s, 130s, whatever. But I'm being conservative in terms of how high we can get. And I'm saying like 120 to 130. If we get higher, that's awesome. But I'm just playing conservatively. So yeah, just playing the flag here. But again,
Okay.
the bearish scenario is still in play. Um, so we'll see. I mean, I can't, we got to see the next few days. But yeah, what are your thoughts though on the market?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like if you're just playing that flag target. I don't think
Yeah.
maybe I missed that part, but it's I just wasn't sure where you were getting the 120 from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
okay. So you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is a crazy weekly candle. Um, but at the end of the day, I think we are closing in the range, right? We're not getting acceptance below the range. So you could say maybe that was all a deviation. Maybe, you should be targeting like range highs again. But if we look at like the trend um, on the not the weekly, but on the 3 day, we did kind of flip bearish here. We got a bearish trigger here,
Yeah.
and the last time we got that was down, where that flag you were saying down over here at 65. And after we got that, it took some time to get back over it. Like, I mean, how long
Yeah.
was this? From June 20, June 2024 to September, so like 2 months, basically chopping, but below this average. And then, after we got the trigger to the bottom was essentially 23%. So maybe, that we just spent like did a speed run through this, and ideally, to get similar to you to feel bullish, I'd need a close like above this area.
Yeah.
95 to start, but really you want to get above like 97, 98, and
Yeah.
above
Yep.
this moving average, because otherwise this trend is flipping bearish. And to me, I'm really looking more for a short right now because I think this whole move was just off the back of Trump's tweet. And you did get like you always get some insider running front running, right? Like why were we ripping on a Saturday? Oh, like Trump's buddies were probably piling on, right? Like they knew this was about to come out. But overall, I think until we get like a reclaim, like a bounce, like some acceptance of back into this range in the blue lines, to me, this is just retesting kind of resistance or support turned to resistance now. And I think what you're gonna get is probably like a little bit more of a pop. There's the digital asset summit that's gonna be on Friday, so that gives us a week to like hype up anticipation of what could be announced. And I think if nothing gets announced, or even before, a day or two before, I think you get some news traders kind of taking profit, and you get something like this. Now, at this point, we're either going to hold support here, or maybe test this wick, but or just kind of range like that. But overall, like my base case is bearish. Like I'm looking for a short, just based on off this 3 day trend. Like that's kind of what my system's telling me to do. And just objectively, this could be the start of a downtrend. That's kind of how I'm going to play it. But I could be wrong. I still have like some long exposure, and if I'm wrong, I get stopped out around 97 or 90, yeah, around 97, and then we're back in bull mode and target new highs and above 100K and all that. But just the how fast everything moved, it feels like this was more of a short squeeze than actual like persistent buying. What do you think about that?
No, I actually agree with you on that one because yeah, I'm also leaning more short. I agree with you. I also agree with that whole that tweet was the pump for everything, right? It could be that it's just we get to those dates March 7th, and then like you said, there's no more news, and we just get a meeting of a nothing burger, right? And yeah, exactly, and that's the dump. I mean, in general, I'm with you with the TA there because it's still looking bearish, right? So I think I like the yellow lines that you did the downtrend. Like I see the same thing
Yeah,
happening. I mean I'm with you here. I was like 70 75% short, early 90s, like 100, but now I've like come back down to like 65%. But in general, I agree with this one. I think it was a way too fast wick, and it looks like a retest wick of
I,
resistance in general. So
yeah. I think if I were to play like the bullish scenario, we have the monthly open here around 85K, and I think if Bitcoin were to kind of bounce off that and hold that level, hold above that level, I think like I would take a long from 85 to back to the 90s or 100, but I'm kind of fading this move, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I do think like alts, especially because Trump's tweet was about altcoins more so than Bitcoin. Like Solana, XRP, Cardano, and he said there might be other assets announced as well. I do think this is more bullish alts than it is Bitcoin, and I'm looking for basically add the scenario for BTCD. And I think it's playing out. I mean, we had the first peak here, November, and another spike here. I've had these lines drawn for like months, like the first couple of streams we did, and we've spiked up to 65 here, February, and now I think we're still kind of in this channel, and maybe BTCD comes down back here to do one last spike before like the true alt season. But I do think like what was announced is more. bullish, more constructive altcoins. So that's kind of where I am high level. Should we get into some specific altcoins?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, by the way,
All
just I
right.
want to point out on this one on the BTCD on the weekly time frame, you are looking at bearish divergence. So it is looking like alt. This is the start of potentially an alt season. Just because you're making a higher high on the RSI. I'm sorry, on the percentage, right, for BTCD. But if you look at the RSI, yeah, exactly, we're coming down, and then we're crossing on the stochastics as well. So yeah, I think it's a good point that you bring up is the fact that we could be going into a potential, finally maybe an altcoin season for specific alts.
Yeah, just real quick before we move on, an indicator I think is really good that you guys can use is this is the Bitcoin fear and greed. So let's go to the daily here, and it kind of it got to 10, which I think the last time it got to 10, it was basically the FTX implosion. Let's see. Yeah, last time I got to 10, it was 52, right? So usually that's a good time to kind of start taking some long stepping into the market. And that was obviously the bottom from when it doubled, and we got there again, right? So just something else for you guys to keep in your toolbox of potential buy triggers. It did like coincide with the retesting old, I believe it's. I guess we did front run the old all time high, right? So maybe there's like unfinished business there. I don't know.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying, and so that's why I'm honestly I'm not gonna lie to you. TA usually works incredibly precise, and we did get front ran here. And I was actually talking to one of my friends about this that there's a front run to 78K, but like there's still some space that we didn't hit, and so maybe something happens where we double bottom, we wick lower, right, and then we rip as a double bottom, right? Maybe you go higher from there. So I'm looking also into that possibility. I don't know, but we'll have to see.
yeah, but okay. So I guess we can go on to the altcoins. The big winner. I don't even know if we want to look at Cardano, man.
Yeah,
Cardano, I mean, it's like this is a pretty crazy move from 58 here. Got all this stuff from the bear market here. Let's go to the monthly. Let's see. Zoom out. I mean, it does look like the start of a potentially new run for Cardano. Um, so if you guys didn't know, Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, he's apparently an advisor with Trump, and it looks like he advised him to buy his bags. That's pretty much what happened there. Um, so it came back to retest like this old range here, and this is honestly something we should have been paying attention to. And there was no acceptance into that old range, held it as support. But now you have some resistance here at 119. But I think if you get above 119, it could probably pull a XRP pretty quick. And it is kind of, if you look at the weekly, it is kind of breaking out from like this flag here. Uh, like, yeah, this downtrend, fake out, everyone get everyone bearish, and then bam, we're back. So then you use this flag, could go be going back up to just under $2. It looks like, and who knows, maybe more. I mean, Cardano people are crazy; they don't really sell. Let's just look at the trend real quick. Yeah, trend still bullish on big time frames, so does look like it's primed for higher. And then I want to compare this to the XRP chart because XRP, like let's like take a snapshot of this long consolidation flag, and then XRP. What did this one do? So it didn't really flag. It just like ripped. Yeah, once it got above like the old resistance, it just basically started doing God candles. So I mean, maybe this is a preview of what comes next for Cardano. I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
Yeah.
if you have a president buying your bags, I don't think you really need any other reasons to be bullish something.
Wow. Yeah, Cardano. I'm sorry, that XRP is just looking wild. What a
It doesn't
chart.
look like it's. I mean, I think honestly, I was looking at a short for this. Not like before, but that's kind of why I have this old monthly open here marked out. But I have to see, like maybe these highs get taken out, right? Like a fake breakout. This is a damn pen. Like something like this, right? Oh, never mind. Lower high and then back below the old high. But it could just as easily keep ripping. Maybe there's better things to short. What do you think?
Yeah. So yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah. So one of the things about about this one, it was actually the perfect. This was a perfect buy. Like if you go back into history, this was a support region, right? So having buying orders in that area from like 162 to 180 for that retest as support was probably like a good move in general, right? But overall, like this is extremely bullish. I mean, look, this candle came down, or I'm sorry, the stochastics came down, right? We flipped up, we came back down, but look, we're it looks like we're about to go into the bearish divergence for the weekly and do the three drive, right? So we could do something like this, like you said, kind of go from there. But again, I mean, if we get into the smaller time frames, you could see this as a double bottom as well, right? One, two, and then you could take that into that, and we could see like a almost like a $5 XRP. So I'm not, you know what I mean, like double bottom there.
And
So,
then
or we could
it
just
would flip ETH.
what's
It would
that?
flip ETH. At $5, it flips ETH.
Imagine that, yeah. And honestly, like it wouldn't surprise me. Like this chart on the daily is looking super bullish. You know, the three
Yep.
day. Look, I mean, the 3 day is just getting started for some big. I mean, look, we're down here, and we just did a double bottom. We're gonna see some highs. I'd look at. I mean, the whole scenario is like looking at this area for the tree drive for the three drive, just like Bitcoin, right? We talked about this a while ago. Um, just to show you guys, it's this here, right? One, two, three. And we could see the same thing here, right? One, two, three, and that would be a great short. However, I would be careful, maybe short up to here. You know what I mean? But yeah, just keep an eye on that level of like 410, 411, possibly. I don't know when it's going to get there. But yeah, overall, like this chart looks incredibly bullish for now, right? We'll see what happens later. Um, and let's just put that scenario of where we could be in this like little flag, right? Like this range. What happens if I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but it's a possibility that this could also I mean $5. You know what I mean? It could be making like this weird flag looking thing, right? And then it could get up to that. So overall, I mean it's good news for XRP in general. So yeah.
So
ADA, I have go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
No, no, you're good. Ada, I have the same target as you. Like I have a. So essentially, I'd recommend you guys if you're doing charting, use parallel lines. They're not always perfect, but I found it that at least 70% of the time, if you want to long and short these, they're very, very, very good at it. So for example, one, two, three, four, and usually at this point you can find this area here of to long, right? But anyway, did that. I'm 100% sure that was a 786, and then it ripped, right? And so then, yeah, that's what.
Measure it out. Let's see if you're right.
I'm
Maybe
like
the 76.
I'm like 90% sure. There you go. There you go.
Like, man.
It's just the way it's crazy how the
Simulation, simulation
look.
confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I checked with a few other coins for the 786, and a lot of them had it. And I was honestly, I faded a lot of these moves on the 786. And I also want to let you guys know that I also faded the 4 hour on Bitcoin. Like this was a terrible noob mistake on my end, because just as the three drive works for the top, it also works for the bottom, right? And I was talking about it to you guys in general, the 4 hour, right? When I see the 4 hour bullish divergence, it's usually a good time to buy. And look at this. I don't know if you saw it, but look at this three drive here as a bottom. Like this was perfect. Honestly, we didn't hit that exact one, but that's whatever. We bounced, but then the RSI was just juicy. Look at that. Like it made higher high, lower low, and that was the perfect entry. But anyway,
Was that
I
was all
had
Friday? Or when was
what's
that?
that?
When was
This was
the
Thursday.
when was the bottom?
Thursday, like
Thursday
yeah. So
night?
Thursday at around 3 in the morning, or Friday around 3 in the morning. So I was honestly like I had buying orders. I remember that Thursday night I put in buying orders at 77, 75, and 72, and I was like, hopefully it's gonna hit. And no, it hit 78, 198 or 197, and I think we got front ran, to be honest with you, because yeah, I mean I got nothing. Nothing to say about that. And the 786 for me, if you take the from this impulse to up here, the green line's a 786, but we probably hit the 618 or the point 0.7 before ripping up, right? So just kind of give you an example. But anyway, a lot of these coins did that. So you see it hit the 0.706. Unfortunately, it didn't get there where I really wanted it to be, but maybe, like you were talking about it earlier, maybe do the sideways thing, we come back down, right? And then we rip again. But you know, moving on. You want to look at Solana?
Yeah, that's the other one that Trump tweeted about. So first ones he tweeted about was that they're looking at for strategic digital shitcoin reserve is XRP, Cardano, and then Solana.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of quickly go through Solana here, and then we'll go from there. But there's this trend that we've had since August 9th, right, from the last bottom, and we broke out of that trend. We broke out of multiple trends. And again, this is the make it or break it moment. And again, this is why I'm saying, I guess both you and I are in agreement with Bitcoin that it could be potentially a short, right? But I mean, this is resistant. Now we're just going into resistance, right? Look, we had resistance, 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 resistance. How many times did we resist, right? 3 times. And then we broke out. We hit support once, twice, 3 times, and then boom, we dumped, right? And this could simply just be a retest up to like 190, right? Or maybe to this 200 MA on the daily. And then that's it. And then maybe we just come back down and we drip down to like, I don't know, maybe a double bottom again or something. But in terms of breaking out, I mean, this one broke out pretty clean, right? Look at that. Maybe we come back and we do a retest of this back into the 130. I don't know. But like I said, with Bitcoin and Solana, we are in a resistance region. And again, if I want to personally, if I'm going to look at longing Solana again, I want to see it above closing, daily and a weekly candle above 194, 195, because then that would give us confirmation that we've broken out of this whole resistance and we're going into support. So maybe seeing something like this, we break out, we retest, and then we continue. That would be like, I'm like, all right, cool. But again, if I'm looking at this chart as a potentially a double top, whatever you want to look at it like, I'm a bit bearish. To me, this is a bearish retest from this double top. Again, for now, but then we'll see. We'll see what happens. The weekly is actually looking decent. We still have to get over the 21 MA on the weekly, right? Because we're below it. Bitcoin's above it. Solana's below it, right? And then let's look at the monthly. I mean, and then this kind of makes changes my tune. We did hit resistance, right? I'm sorry, we did hit support here on that line. So I'm just gonna say it's tricky for now. I'm not. It's a tough call. I want to see 195 break for continuation. If it doesn't, then rejection. So honestly, I'm still on the sidelines, and if we get above that, I'll start longs again. Otherwise, I'll just wait to see what happens in the next few days. And I think something that you said that's pivotal is we have to wait for March 7th, right? Maybe things change the tune there, or maybe that helps us break above that resistance for most
Yeah,
coins and then continue to rip.
it's either going to be a sell the news or it's going to be confirmation, like party continues.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I do think like seeing Solana rip the way it did, and the fact that Trump and his team were looking at it, I think it bodes well for the trenches. And I think there was like a 2 or 3 week period where it was just dead in the Solana trenches after the Libra launch, and people had gotten rugged so much and realized how many launches were like insider stuff. So I don't know if it ever gets back to the level that it was, but I do think there's going to be opportunities to get long some stuff on chain on Solana and other ecosystems too.
Definitely. Yeah. There was a day I think where there was only uh, 68 graduations on Pump Fund. It was one of these days, which is wild. It's unheard of.
Yeah. So if you're done looking at spot there, let me take a look here versus Bitcoin
Yeah.
because it does kind of lean towards like the bearish argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Go for it.
at least bearish from this point, right, where after it's already rallied.
Yeah.
So Sol BTC, and again, you guys want to be looking at the Bitcoin pairs because if you're going to be underperforming Bitcoin, you might as well just hold Bitcoin if you're going to be long the market. Um, so this is versus Bitcoin. Let's zoom out to the monthly. It does, yeah, this is a tricky one because you kind of did retest this old resistance here and potentially flipping to support, depending on how. I mean, last month closed bearish, right? So this month needs to close above to kind of show that that was support. And then if we look at the weekly, um, yeah, the weekly. So you're coming into this area over here, basically the bottom of this range, right? And essentially, you're testing now. Will this old support turn into resistance? And I think until proven otherwise, that's probably going to be the case. And again, if you look at the trends, this one I noobed out on this one because it gave a bear trigger here, like in December. I guess I got faked out here, but ultimately once it got back under this trend at the end of January, should have been out of Solana, and then you lost 30%, over 30% versus Bitcoin, right? So that's why we kind of monitor these trends, and this is the same type of setup that you're seeing on Bitcoin right now, right?
Yeah.
Like
Most of
ranging, bearish flip, and that's why I say like until this bearish trend is invalidated, then you want to be short biased because that's probably what's going to happen. And even if it does eventually flip it, like there's going to be resistance there between. It's not just going to be a straight shot through, unless Trump just announces something even crazier. But how much crazier it can get. So yeah, that's Solana versus Bitcoin. Another one I was looking at before this kind of jump is S, or it used to be called Phantom SBTC. Let's see how that's looking. Um, yeah, so if you guys don't know, Sonic did like a rebrand and basically launched a whole new chain, made it faster, like text better, all that stuff. But I have it here. I was watching actually for again a short because if we're in a downtrend with Bitcoin, it's easier to for me to bet on that trend than it is like bet on a reversal. which for now has been wrong, but we'll see. And I think if you can get above this point, this 871, and this is versus Bitcoin, so I think that's 871 like Satoshis, then maybe you can say this is kind of like a bear flag or a bull flag versus Bitcoin. And so far, I mean, if you don't break down from that, definitely looks like it, right?
Yeah,
You
the
look at
stochastic,
the trend. What's that?
the Stokes and the RSI kind of looks weak. The MACD is also looking very bearish in general.
Yeah.
So
So it has to reset. If those reset and it's still up here, then definitely a bullish argument to be made. Um, but I was gonna I'm kind of being patient on this one. I think if we come down here to the old monthly open or the point 0.5 from this rally, then I think S looks good here. Do you want to look at it versus USD?
yeah, let's see that.
But they were actually, I think we showed the table last stream. They were the only L1 that was in the green for the year, right? So if you see that kind of strength, like on a downtrend, you should theoretically, it should have some strength on the subtrend. But surprise, it's kind of not at the moment.
Yeah, so yeah, let's do a little flag here. Uh, Actually, there's good. So we zoom in. Yeah, so I would. Yeah, it's better. Maybe we do something like this. We come and retest right here, like 69 potentially, to then form. And let's go 4 hour. That's better. To then do this sort of thing, right? Then we have the shoulder, head, right? And we have something like this. And then that would give us the breakout uh, overall. But I do like this cup and handle that it's been forming. And if we do get I'll give you two targets. I'll give you the first one, which would be like $1.25, and then the other one would be like $1.40 or something, $1.50. But yeah, I'd be looking at something like this up to here, and then maybe that's it, Or obviously, it could go higher, but uh, I've seen a lot of these. Like for example, this one right here. So we come back, we retest, we come back, we came up here. It looks like we're getting rejected in this area, right? So we haven't had a clean breakout, which gives me the idea that we're probably going to come back down, maybe on the 4 hour, touch the 21 MA, and then maybe chop around here and then rip again, right? But that's what it's looking like for now. It's too far. The daily, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, and then maybe like touch the 21 MA around here. Just I would say around here would be a great entry, like the 70 to 68 cents. If obviously if we get all the way down there, but to me that looks like a good support region before we rip, potential double bottom, and we rip as well. But it's looking, I mean this whole thing is looking bullish.
Yeah. Any other ones you're looking at?
Just a quick thing on yeah, actually let's look at Sui. Oh, I'm sorry, no, I was looking at a Doge. So I had Doge again. If Bitcoin would have wicked down to like that 77, 75, uh, we would have had, and I had this target too of 17 cents. But again, I got front ran and I had
But
this
it
one ready
basically
there.
did get there, man. It got to 18.
No, I had it at 17. Well, anyway, I didn't even have I didn't even have open orders here, but ideally this is where I want it, right? Obviously, I wasn't looking at this. I was mostly looking at Solana. I had some Solana longs open, so I got wicked in. So I'm long on those, but it wasn't a heavy bag. Anyway, one of the things that I'm looking at for Doge is, we've respected this. I talked about this, right up here, here, down here, And look at that parallel line, wick down here. So I think these are really great ways to long. They're not perfect, but they will give you a good amount if you start longing around these lows, right? And so this would have been a great. I mean, I did get an entry on this one at 20 cents. I remember, yeah. Then I closed it around here at 24, 23 cents just because it wasn't looking good. But Doge is, I mean, we broke out of this downtrend for, I mean, it's a long one here. Maybe come back down, retest it, and then we continue to the upside for a bigger flag. It could be the case. But yeah, I was looking at this one. Let's look at this one. I mean, yeah, Doge is looking really bullish in terms of the stochastics, the RSI. It's looking really good
Everything's
for
like
a long.
reset.
Yeah, I know this is a little bit messy, but it looks like a reset. Yeah, so we could come back and then potentially get to like 73 cents if we obviously again if we
Yeah.
continue the bull run, or if there's good news for Doge, or if they make they change the Doge, they change the dollar to Doge, you know, then of
Doge is
course we're gonna.
interesting because like all the stuff that pumped is like insider people that are close to Trump, like David Sachs. He has a huge bag of Solana. Cardano and XRP founders, CEOs talk to Trump. And then Doge, you have the biggest bull of Doge, Elon, and he hasn't. He's got to have something up his sleeve, right? You also have the ETFs coming up. I think longing Doge or longing ETF and like strategic uh, digital reserve assets, I feel like is a good long-term safe play with where we are in the market. So ETF assets are like Doge, Sol, XRP, and Litecoin. We should take a look at Litecoin also. But
Yeah,
I, basically, the way I'm gonna play this now is have some like chunky bets and just stuff I know is gonna have flows and a catalyst, like the ETF. Because those I think they could be announced early, but most likely they're announced in October. And then obviously like on chain with smaller positions. But I think like other than these big assets, there's the stuff in the middle is not. I don't know if it's worth the juice is worth the squeeze on those because you're either going for like the safe, guaranteed wins, or like the home runs. And the stuff in the middle is just I think you're just gonna get chopped up.
yeah, no, I'm with you there. You want to at this point, if at this point you want to do the safe bets, right? Not the riskier ones. And we've talked about this over the last few weeks, right? If there's going to be coins that are going to rip, altcoins that are going to rip, there's going to be a handful, right? And we did name some of the ones like Sol, XRP. I didn't think ADA was going to do anything, but just the main ones that, of course, Trump is going to support. And SUI is founded by Americans, right? It's created by Americans, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if Sui somehow gets in the radar. You know?
Yeah. Should we take a look at Thui?
Yeah. Do you wanna take a look at it? Do you wanna look at it?
I can take a look, and then I think that should cover it for like the safe plays, and then we can get into like some higher risk on-chain stuff.
Some Degen. All right.
Um, yeah, but it's tricky. I mean, I'd be careful getting into longs. Like if you didn't catch the you know that bottom there, I'd be very careful taking longs here. I think we'll probably get another chance this week to get long. So Sui again, it's gone into this bearish trend, and you can see it's this thing has been basically all you had to do was follow this trend to make money, right? Went on the way up, on the bounce, underside, and then confirm up, long, and then you had the bearish trigger here on January 23rd at 460, and if you took that short, you could have got between 40 to 50%, without leverage. So this and this is kind of what needs to be flipped to get bullish Sui again. Let's see on the lower time frames. Yeah, on the 12 hour, it is starting to pop up like above the bearish trend on the 12 hour. So think what you would want to see as like a Sui bull is maybe like break this trend here and some sort of like market structure break. But I do think this is in general a decent area to take a punt for a long. Like you have the current monthly open here at 280, so put your stop a little below that, and I think target back to $4, the old monthly open. That's I think that's not a bad risk reward play here for Sui. So you're looking for like something like this market structure break, and then back there for 4R there, 40%. So not bad. And then on the short side, I think once you retest this bearish trend, like on some bigger time frames, yeah, you flipped. See, this is a problem. It's going to be tough to get over that 3 day. So you might not get much of a move at all. Um, yeah, I don't know. Sui's tricky.
Yeah, I think a lot of coins I've been looking. There's some that are clear, like Cardano looks very clear, like it's a nice long. But some of these are
Yeah,
looking tricky. Like for example, like I like the scenario you put here because we could make that shoulder, head and shoulder, and then go higher, right? But then also like I have a short scenario, and I've talked about this one on our last stream. I think there was somebody that forgot. I think it was Aaron that came on that stream, and he asked about it. But just kind of quickly, I'll show you this the short scenario that I'm looking at, and
just
it would be
real quick. I
oh
just want
yeah.
to point this out. You're about to. This is a big time frame, the 5 day. That's potentially flipping bearish here, and that is that's if you don't want to see that flip bearish if you're gonna get long. Let's put it that way. You probably at that point I would be looking for shorts on Sui. Um, but yeah, just wanted to point that out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've been looking at these trends, and we like to sometimes retest trends, and we broke a trend from. There's a few trends. We're inside the trend in this like lower trend, which is good. We held support here, but then there's this other one that we started back in August 2024, which would essentially give us a short of shoulder, head and shoulder, right? And it kind of adds up because we would kind of uh, get that short here. So we come back and retest all the way up to here, and then just kind of like drop back down potentially to here, and then maybe we can go sideways and then continue to the upside, right? Or just dump, retest again, and then dump, and then go into the bear market. But the area I am looking at for a potential short is this right here, the three right here. The was it like 375, 377, all the way up to almost $4. If obviously if we get up there, it looks like we are just because there's a lot of bullish divergence that we're seeing here. But I would be thinking about possibly shorting here if something happens. If everything looks bullish, then obviously I wouldn't do that. But this would be an interesting region to look at, right around there.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some on chain stuff. Is there anything on chain you're looking at? Anything smaller cap?
I mean, Farcoin. I mean, that's one of the ones that I've been looking at for quite some time. And I had this target a while back, but sometimes you kind of fail and you don't listen to your own targets to buy in. Uh, so I kind of messed that up here on, unfortunately, on Farcoin. But yeah, I had this one right here from a while back. You can watch our streams, and I had this one, the mid 50s, and here I'll show you the RSI, which should be looking really good. Um, I mean, yeah, this is. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. I mean, we talked about this last time. I could see this one moving all the way up to like 500 million market cap, even hitting like the 700 bill. But this was such a great. Uh, First of all, bullish divergence. Let's not ignore that. So let's go ahead and look at that. So we're making higher highs on the RSI, right? From the bottom, not the top, right? Yeah, and then lower lows in price. So and that was on the daily, so that was a huge indication of. And then if you look here, this was support region, and that was, I mean, this region, this whole area here was a great place to buy in. So Anyway, we live and we learn. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for Farcoin, potentially going all the way up to short term, going up to like 430, 430 million market cap. See what happens there because there's resistance. Potentially rip from that, right? So we could even do something like this. Where are you? There. So we could do something like this, right? So shoulder, that'd be the head, and we can rip up to here, maybe like come back down to here, and then do that. So either way, like in general, this is looking bullish for now. If you want a DCA, not financial advice, uh, you could easily just start DCAing now. Potentially see something back to 1 billion, and then maybe you go into a bear market there. But it's not. This is not looking bad at all. Honestly, it's looking good. Um,
Yeah,
if
but
again,
if Sol pulls back, this will pull back. So I think you might get another chance to long this, and we'll definitely post updates in our Telegram
yeah,
because this is definitely one. It's one of the most reflexive assets. Like when it goes up, when it goes down very quick and very fast, and same thing as when it goes up. So it's definitely one you want to try to catch if you're able.
yeah. Do you want to look at one?
Let's just stay on your screen. This other one I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at, it's if you want to search viral, ticker's
Oh
viral.
yeah, viral. Yeah, I remember viral. I got in at
I think
4 mil
pretty good. I
viral
have a small. Oh, really? Are you still in?
a while back, but yeah, I sold it. I'm not holding through some crazy dumps. Um,
I just had like a small bag, but I'm thinking of adding now because it's starting to show some strength.
let's see, RSI. Damn it. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, overall, this entry here was really good. If you caught this entry down here, that wick was incredible. Uh, I don't. I mean, this looks like it's going to pull back, right? As you can see, this is on the daily. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, it's pulling back. I would say maybe a retest here for a potential continuation long would be right around here. Yeah,
It's like what
that's
10 minutes?
yeah. It's like yeah, like 920, 940 mil market cap. So that would be a good area. We are doing also like a cup and handle. We It looks like a shoulder, head and shoulder, cup and handle. So there's a lot of things going on here. So I'd say a retest here would be good. Also to make sure that we don't break this trend. Ideally, you just don't want to break that trend. So if we come back down here, obviously retest this area, maybe wake down here. Continuation would be great. Yeah. So yeah, I think this would be the 9 mil, 10 mil would be a great support region. If we don't break that, then we're good. If we break that, then maybe come back. Maybe that's deviation. We come back down into this trend here. So
That's
yeah.
solid. Another one I was looking at is Moby. So
Oh
that's one
yeah, maybe a little turd
that's,
burglar.
that's reacting pretty strongly.
Yeah, I think I saw it at 12 mil last, which just had a crazy dump, but I'm sure it's probably like a nice like 60% maybe. Let's see what I had before. I charted this one a while back. Um, yeah, yeah. So I was looking for that. I don't think I would have even caught this one because this right here would have scared the crap out of me and be like, "Nah, I'm out." That here and then that here, but that's probably obviously the place to buy, right? But that was deviation in general. I have this trend here for that breakout. I kept it from a while back, and I think we already did. We broke out, yeah. So if we, yeah, so we do that, and then we take that from there, something like that. So you could see. I mean, we potentially could see. I'm not saying we will, but we could see like a nice 3.7x, into that region. Let's look at the daily. I don't know. I mean, um, it could be a slow cook. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah, we could definitely see that over time. I don't know how fast we'll see it, but we could see this 80 mil for obviously first we want to see 57 mil and then 45 mil. But let's see. I think it's kind of similar to if we want to get out of this. It's kind of the similar thing with with Farcoin, right? Well, we would have to see usually like this would be the sharp shoulder, the head, which is like a rounded bottom, right? And maybe like there, we want to see something like that because again, this is a rounded bottom, and usually like they say, rounded bottom, pay the bills, right? So you'd have to see something like that. That's a sharp, a round, and usually that's kind of that's usually bullish. So yeah, maybe you see something like that. But we are very
Yeah.
spent on the 4 hour, on the daily. Pretty spent, to be honest with you. And I don't like the fact that we're below the 50 on the RSI. So
What
ideally,
get
you want
above it?
to, yeah, if we get a, yeah, I mean, maybe like a little pullback or a flag here as we maybe come down, or like maybe do a little quick turn and then we go up. That'd be extremely bullish. Yeah,
Word. I think I got one more, and then maybe we can wrap it up.
yeah,
You looked at IMG, Infinite Money Glitch.
yeah. I already have it here. Just looking at this.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I'll be very honest with you. I didn't like the fact that the whole market pumped, but this didn't pump.
This didn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not a good sign.
that's one thing that I wasn't
Could just
pretty
be like
impressed
a
about.
lag, but it's definitely
It may, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe
needs more time, maybe.
yeah, the chart didn't get. I mean, the chart gets me horny, but not enough because I didn't see good movement action. So maybe if we see something like we could see that breakout, right? Maybe over time we get this breakout into like 32 mil. But for now, I mean, maybe we're just consolidating, right? I honestly haven't checked the hold. I mean, 32,000 holders at 10 mil is actually huge. So that's something to consider for long. So you can get an easy 3x here, 2.8 to 3x. One I'm looking at that I really like was Pep. Um, Pep has an incredible double bottom. I was looking at it earlier
No,
today.
invest more.
What's that?
I'm in. I have a little bit of this, but uh, I just feel like this thing. I don't know. I think it's got legs.
Yeah, I mean, uh, Pep. I mean, both Pep and IMG could do something, but I like this one here. I mean, it's a nice double bottom. This could get some crazy news and rip. I don't know what it would be, or some good influencers maybe have been loading up. Maybe Murad
Pep
loaded up
Strategic
around.
Reserve.
What's that?
A Pep Strategic Reserve.
Exactly, man. Be bullish. um, but I like this double bottom in general. Like I've seen these charts rip, so don't be surprised if Pep decides to do some crazy moves. Also, I wouldn't ignore IMG just because again 32,000 holders is nothing to joke about. And yeah, I mean 1 billion supply, a lot of holders. I'm sure people are pushing this one a lot. So this could, by tomorrow or the next 2 days, it wouldn't surprise me if this one rips. Again, depending on how healthy we
Uh,
are with
I just
Solana.
I just remembered one more that I was looking at that is looking pretty bullish. Look at Doge AI.
Oh, yeah, Doge AI.
This
I don't have
this thing looks like it could run to hundreds of millions.
yeah. This one hurt my feelings a lot, man. I'm really pissed. I saw it at 3 mil market cap, and I was like it's not going to do anything. And yeah, the
Did you
rest is
see what it
history.
was?
No, I
It,
didn't even see what
I
it
don't know
was.
if
I
it
was
was bullish.
like I saw it when it came out because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Doge AI. I was like, that sounds dumb. We have like a million Doges, and yeah,
If you look at what it is, you know what it is? It's a Twitter of you know how they're doing the Doge cuts.
yeah,
They use an AI to make tweets about all the stuff the government's wasting money on. So
Oh
if you look
wow.
at that, that's like definitely has virality and like shareability, and you attach a meme coin to that, then that just adds kind of rocket fuel to like the attention flywheel, basically.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Like
And look at
these were great times to scoop up. Like mid February, 8 mil
look at the strength.
already at
Just
seven.
look at like where did it bottom? Like the whole market was nuking, and this thing was ripping.
So we had our first double bottom on the first dip we had in the beginning of the month of February, right? So that was the first one. Then pumped, then retested back down, held support on mid February, and then uh, February 25th, it held up and it just continued to pump. It barely felt that dump that we had on crypto, but I mean, that was a nice little retest and it just continued to rip. So it's showing a lot of strength. Yeah, I mean, this one, what I want to see is maybe like a little flag here or like a shoulder, head and shoulder, or like a cup and handle. To then it'll just continue to rock it because I realistically this to continue to go up. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna say it will. Like it would be healthy to have a pullback, and then that would be a perfect like when this one comes down, right? I think that would be the perfect entry. Uh,
If it comes down,
I don't know, man. Like I mean, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe this one just continues to rip, but in terms
it
of
is at
like
resistance. It is like the last resistance there.
yeah, and we are kind of getting rejected. I'm not saying we are, but right here, like that's the area, right? So I want to see it come back down to at least 43 mil before we rip. That's just me, to enter a position.
But it looks
Um,
pretty bullish, though, doesn't it? It's like a rounded bottom.
yeah, in the smaller time frames, obviously we're showing bearishness. It is a rounded bottom, but again, I've seen a lot. So I'll tell you exactly what I want to see. It's this. I want to see us hit that trend again, not break it, but maybe retest the 45 mil and then continue. To me, that's a healthy pullback to then continue again. Because look, we're double topped on the RSI. This is the 6 hour, but we're double topped. I want to see us come back down to here. And then from here, I think 45 mil would be a great entry. 45 to like 41 mil is a good entry, but I think 45 is going to hold. Because look, we have one here, two here, three here, four here, five here. Yeah, it's got a lot of support. That became support. So rejection,
Yeah,
rejection. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
solid.
Um,
So we'll be doing some updates on our Telegram. That's going to be in the description. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter too. But most of our updates, like real time trades we're doing, are in Telegram. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad there's a lot of volatility now, right? It's kind of tricky, but at least we're getting some setups and some bullish price action. So it looks like there is going to be, money to be made in the market now and in the trenches.
yeah. I want to take a look at what was it? Where is it? Last one, last one. Uh, damn it.
Dude, what kind of psycho watch list is this, man? You just put everything on one watch list?
Yeah, it's in order in my head. Trust me. Don't worry about it.
What the heck, man? Well, I guess
There's
you know what everything you're looking at here. That's
yeah,
way too
yeah.
much.
I know. I got to get rid of some stuff, but yeah, it may. Oh, this one. Here you go. Yeah, dude, this is my coin, man. I gotta ape in this one.
Yeah, it's looking bottomed. It looks like the seller's out of coins.
Yeah, I mean, any good news would rip this, but yeah,
Look at
GG on
the
this one.
candle bodies. I'm
What?
serious. This looks bottomed. It's just any candle bodies. Like there's no sellers left. The sellers are literally out of coins.
I mean, it is showing some bullish div, so any good news would rip this.
Or even
Let's
just
see.
we showing a little bit of bullish price action. Like what? Those are
I
tiny
mean,
candles.
yeah, these are baby candles. But I like Lofi. Lofi wasn't looking bad. We're back at 27 mil market cap. Uh,
The winter mute special.
oh yeah, dude. They got. I mean, I don't. I mean, this one.
It's a lot of bag holders there though. It's a lot of resistance.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, if Sui decides to do something wild, then yeah, we could probably pump back up to like 100 mil, so maybe like a 4x possibly.
Oh, take a
Retest
look
that.
at sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Which one?
There's one on abstract I was looking at called Newt, Noot. I think abstract will probably do like a deeper dive on that one. No, Noot, double O,
M or N?
Noot, Newt.
Like noob. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, this one here.
yeah, that one.
All right. Let's see this
It's
one.
on abstract. Oh wow, this thing freaking doubled since I saw it. Damn it.
Dude, like 5 days or a week ago, it was at 2 mil. That's wild. Yeah, why didn't you tell me about this one, man? What are you doing?
I did. I sent this to you at 8 mil.
No, you didn't.
I said, look at this meme on abstract.
Yeah, I mean this one, this higher high was actually a good one. What? All right.
It's a
So
good
what is
call.
abstract? I haven't heard of abstract at all. What is it?
Oh, abstract. It's like base. Like it's a L2 for it's L2. You know, Ethereum L2. But the reason people are bullish is because it's the same team behind like Pudgy Penguins. So these guys
Oh,
are like
wow.
consumer facing, like onboarding normies. So they're building everything like all the onboarding stuff is really normie friendly, basically.
Yeah, I think you should have definitely talked about this in the group with that, with what you just said right now, because I think that's pretty big. I think a lot of people in the crypto space know about Pudge, Pudge Penguins. So I think that was a good alpha, man. You should have said that like on a whatever, right? And then
Well,
yeah, I
we've
mean,
mentioned abstract in the group and in the streams before, but I haven't really looked over there, like what's going on. I mean, this thing's still only 13 mil. You know, it's
yeah,
still
it's
probably
good, man.
early. Like right
Yeah,
now, we're probably like where base was in like August before everyone came on chain. And what we want to find is like what's Toshi, what's the Mochi, what's gonna be the Brett. I think
yeah,
now is kind of the time to do that.
this is I mean this is great. Damn, this had a really nice pump, dude. All right, yeah. So we're flagging. We did the retest here, and then but it is looking a little bit weak on the 8 hour. There is bearish divergence on the 12 hour and the
I think
daily,
like a
but even
70% nuke, you probably full port. No, not full port, but you know, good size.
then, yeah,
If this is the top meme on abstract, you know.
yeah, 100%. Because this could easily be a flag here, right? We're just like on this little range forming a flag. Uh, if not, then we could even be doing something like this: shoulder, again, shoulder, head, shoulder, right? And then it just continues to rib. I could see something like this.
Yeah, yeah, we
But
got
yeah, I
camera on
mean,
this one.
yeah, I think anything between 10 to 12 mil market cap is a good entry. Just DCAing into that. But
Actually,
yeah, that's pretty big.
I'm gonna check something real quick. I want to see if this is the biggest meme on abstract. I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen.
Man, I can't believe I saw this thing at 8 million. Now it's double.
Yeah, this is a good one, man.
Annoying.
Definitely a good one.
It's very annoying. All right, so let's see. We're on the abstract chain here. I want to search. I want to rank these by market cap. And what the heck is this? Hero? Well, look at this. There's nothing. There's nothing over here on this chain. You got Abster, whatever the heck this
That's
is. This is like a rug. This came out 6 days ago. This is a rug, $1 liquidity. Hero.
Yeah.
Uh, this also looks like a rug. Is this the main? Maybe this is the main pool here. Take a look at that, and then Newt. And Newt's at 13 mil, and then there's nothing else on this chain. So pretty easy, pretty logical long, I think, right?
So what do you think would make what do you think would make people flood into abstract? Is there something like is there an incentive?
Yeah, there's an airdrop.
Okay,
So,
nice.
but, but the thing is, like, I was pretty bullish on them, but they kind of messed up. Like when they were coming out, there's been like some issues, like some tech issues. Like I think one of the protocols got
Uh,
hacked, so they didn't have like the best launch.
yeah,
But I think that's kind of creating opportunity.
yeah. I mean the USD chart.
Um,
Yeah, I was looking at the ETH chart, but the new WETH, but this one looks a lot more bullish, to be honest. The USDT.
well, this one doesn't have a price history,
Yeah, but in terms of like that flag,
so you're looking at the right one.
yeah, that flag is looking really scrumptious.
Yeah, this thing looks like it's about to break out again, man. It's so annoying. Could have bought this thing half off
Yeah,
a week ago.
yeah. I mean, if it doesn't do the right shoulder, this thing is it's ripping. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's time to.
Send this one in the group.
What's
Send it in
that?
the group. I think it's a good one. There's a potential.
Yeah, I think we're good too. Like we were pretty bearish last stream, and for good reason. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we've been bearish this month, but after what Trump tweeted, and I think stuff's gonna start to get announced. I think it makes sense to be bullish again, but like very selectively bullish. Like very calculated bets, basically.
yeah. Cautious, cautious. Yeah, I think doing that with caution would be the right move.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's it for today. A lot of potential plays there, and we'll be updating in the Telegram. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, join the Telegram, and yeah, I think that covers it for
Yeah.
today.
Before we go, I do want to give you guys one thing to look at for Sol in case you want a long. There is, I mean, it's very interesting. Like we are getting rejected at that resistance point, right? One, two. We talked about this, right? There's a lot of resistance. But let's just say that Solana decides to, pull back. I would start looking into something around this area. If you guys are still bullish, because that's, we had the shoulder here, we have some good support here. Maybe because we're pulling back right now, right? We'll still have to see how we do for the market open in tomorrow morning. But we could potentially pull back and then try to continue to go up and then maybe get rejected around here. But yeah, just keep an eye on the 159, 163 if we pull back. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Bitcoin.
All
Yeah.
right, solid. Thanks for
Thanks, guys.
watching, and yeah, let's hope that
All
was
right.
it.